Hi everybody and welcome to our first RE lesson. So this topic we're going to be learning about rules and routine, and in today's lesson we're going to be learning about rules and routine at school. So we're going to see, first of all we're going to learn about our rules and routines at school, and then we're going to see what different rules and routines they have in different religions. So for today you need your booklet, which was given out to everybody, your rules and routines booklet. You need a pencil, and you can write your name where it says name here on the booklet. So you can pause the booklet now, pause the video now, make sure you've got your booklet and a pencil, and make sure you have written your name on the booklet. When you have done all those things, you can play the video again. Right, so let's see if we can make a list of all of our school rules. We have lots of rules at school, and normally when we do this I would ask for you to give me a rule and I would write it down, but unfortunately we can't do that, so I'm going to think of a few rules. You can write down some other ones that you might know as well. So the first one I can think of is that we must be kind and be gentle. So be kind and gentle. What else should we do at school? We should work hard. And listen to our teachers. Well, listen to everybody really. So I'm just going to write listen. There are lots of other different rules we have at school. We have that you should always try your hardest, that you obviously shouldn't throw things, and that we should always be pleasant and use nice manners and things like that. We've got lots of different rules. See if you can make a few more list of rules, or if you don't want to make a list, see if you can tell someone in your house, or you can tell the screen what different rules we have at school. Pause your video now to do that. So now we're going to talk about why we have rules. This is the most important thing. Why do we have rules? I know a lot of children think that rules are not fun, and actually sometimes, for example, no running inside, that sometimes might feel like it is a little bit boring, but we do have rules for a reason. So let's see, why do we have rules? Why do we have school rules? Why do you think we have school rules? Like I said, do we do it just for the adults to be mean? No, we do it to keep everyone safe and secure, don't we? And for everyone to make sure that they feel safe and secure. What happens if you follow the school rules? So if you follow the school rules, if you're really good, what happens? You get your name moved. You get your name moved up the chart, or if you work really hard, you get work merits. Yes. The next question, what happens if you don't follow the school rules? So the opposite of when you follow the school rules, you get your name moved up the chart. When you don't follow the school rules, your name gets moved down the chart. Very good. And sometimes you have to miss your playtimes and things. Why do you think we need school rules? Now, we talked about this, but this and these two, they're very similar. And I said that I think it's a good idea to have school rules because it keeps everyone safe and happy and secure. So, for example, one of the rules we have is not to not to swing on your chair. So when you're in the classroom, you should have all 4 legs on the floor. And the reason why we have that rule is because if you fall over, you might hurt yourself, or someone might trip on the chair, or if you fall, you could hit someone else. So we have it to keep everyone safe and secure. What do you think would happen if we didn't have any rules? If we didn't have any rules in the classroom, what do you think would happen? Do you think everyone would be really well behaved? Or do you think everyone would be a bit silly and the classroom would be loud and be very chaotic? I think their classroom would be really chaotic. It would be loud, everyone would be screaming, no one would be doing their work. Can you think of some rules adults have to follow? So this is about adults. What rules do teachers have to follow? So I know one of the rules as a teacher I have to follow is that I have to be in school a certain time each morning, and I have to leave at a certain time each day. So I'm not allowed to leave during the day unless obviously I feel poorly or something. What about outside school? What other rules do you think adults and people have to follow? It's the same, isn't it, really, as school? So we still have to be nice and kind, and we have to respect other people. What happens if adults don't follow the rules? So in school, obviously, there's the teachers who make sure you follow the rules. Who makes sure we follow the rules? Adults follow the rules in the big wide world. Who makes sure? Police and other people like that. Let's carry on. Let's see what we're going to do next. Now, we've got two words here. We've got rule or routine. So we're going to learn which one is which. A rule is something that must be done or followed. So, for example, a rule is no chewing gum in school. You must do that or you must follow that rule. A routine is usually the order. Let me get a different colour highlight for this one. Usually the order and the way in which you do regular things. So, for example, we have a timetable at school, and every single Monday when we're at school in the afternoon we do history or geography. Today we're doing RE because we're on virtual classrooms. That is the order we do things. So a rule is something which must be followed or done, and a routine is the order, the way in which things happen. So, can you sort this statement into rule or routine? Let's see if we can say if this is a rule or a routine. So I'm going to highlight routine in green and rule, as I did before, in yellow, and we're going to see if we can sort each one out. I usually walk to school. Is that a rule? Do you have to walk to school? At our school, do you have to? No, you don't have to. Some people drive, come to school, some people cycle. So it's not a rule, it is a routine. So I'm going to put a little colour at the side there. So it's a routine. Next one, walk around school. So it's still got walk, but now it's telling you must walk around school. So is it a routine or is it a rule? Is it something you have to follow? That is a rule, isn't it? You have to follow. You always have to walk around school, and that's for your safety, isn't it? I go swimming every Thursday after school. Is that a rule? Does everyone have to go swimming every Thursday after school? Or is it a routine? Is it something that this person does regularly? This one is a routine, isn't it? This person goes swimming every Thursday after school. It's a routine. She does it, or she does it every week. When you are in your car, you must wear a seatbelt. Now, this is obviously not at school, but is this a routine? Is this something you do, for example, every morning? Or is it a rule that you have to follow? Now, this one's a bit of a tricky one, but this one is a rule. There is a law, which is one of the rules made by the government, that you have to wear a seatbelt when you're in the car. And if you don't, you can get caught by the police. So this is a rule. It's a very important rule. Seatbelts help keep you safe if you're in the car in case you crash or have an accident. I brush my teeth before I go to bed. Now, this one could be either, because in your house you might have a rule that you have to brush your teeth, or you might have, it might not be a rule because you always do it and it might be a routine to you. So I'm going to colour it in green because in my house I don't have a rule that I have to brush my teeth, because I do. So it's just a routine. I just do it every single night. But in your house you might have it as a rule. So you can say that's a rule or routine depending on which one you decide. Be polite and friendly to others. So this one is also, well, it is something we should practice and we should do every day, but at school it is a rule that we have, that we should be polite and friendly to others. It's a very good thing to be polite to other people, because if you're polite to them, they'll be polite back to you, and if you're friendly, they'll be friendly back to you, hopefully. We always line up at the end of each playtime. Is this a rule or is this a routine? So at school, we always do line up at the end of playtime, and that's because it is it a rule? Do we have to line up? Or is it a routine? This again could be either. We don't have a specific rule that you have to line up. It's not written down, but I expect it. As a teacher, I expect you to line up. So you could say it's a routine that we do it every single day, or you could say it's a rule, either or with that one as well. So now you're going to find in your booklets, you're going to open the page and see if you can find this page here, and it's got lots of clocks on it. And what we're going to do is we're going to think about our routine at school on a school day. What do you do and what time do you do it? So make sure you can pause the video here and turn to the page with all the clocks on it. Did you find the page? Okay, make sure you got a pencil and let's get started. So I've broken I've split it into two sections because it was a little bit big. So the first time in the morning is 9 o'clock. We know it's 9 o'clock because the little hand's on the 9 and the big hand's on the 12. 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to draw a picture, but you can draw a picture. And then it says here sentences. So you can write some sentences about what we do at 9 o'clock. Now, at 9 o'clock, normally when we are in school, 9 o'clock is the time we come into school and we do the register. So I'm going to write on here at 9 o'clock we come in to school, and a full stop. So I've done a capital letter and I have done a full stop. There we go. I've done a capital letter and I've done a full stop. Ignore the shaky handwriting. It's very difficult to write when you're on the computer. And then you could draw a picture of what you do at 9 o'clock. Then we have got the next time. Let's look at the next clock. The big hand is on the 12 and the little hand's on the 12. What do we do at 12 o'clock? Again, here you can write at 12 o'clock, which is the same as this, but you're just going to do the number 12. So I will show you how to do that, just in case. At 12 o'clock, or you could put I. And what do we do at 12 o'clock? Oh dear, doesn't want to do an E. See if you can read this while I'm writing it. At 12 o'clock, I eat my lunch. So you could draw a picture of someone eating their lunch. The next ones I'm not going to write because I want to see if you can do some writing now. Now, the next time is the big hand's at the 12, so we know it's o'clock, and the little hand is at the 1. So we have finished lunch and we have finished playtime, and what do we do at 1 o'clock? We come back inside, don't we? We do the register, and then in the afternoons we do things like history or geography or art or PE, don't we? So you could write one of those things in there. So remember, you're going to write at 1 o'clock and then you can write the sentence. If you want to do your sentences now, you can pause the video now to do those 3, or you can carry on watching it and do the sentences after you finish the video. So the next one is the big hand's at 12 and the little hand's at 3. So it's 3 o'clock. So because we're on a different page, I will write for you so you see the sentences. at 3 o'clock. Oh, doesn't really like. We get ready to go home. Now my handwriting is obviously not very nice because it's very difficult to write, like I said, on the computer. You're going to do much better handwriting. Remember, you don't have to copy the sentences I have written. You could write your own sentences as well. Next one, the big hand is on the 12, so it means it's o'clock. The little hand's on the 6, so 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock, you might, depends, every house is different, you might have your dinner at 6 o'clock. I have my dinner at 6 o'clock, or my supper. So you could write here, at 6 o'clock, I have my dinner, or I sit down and have my dinner with my family. Again, you don't have to write the exact same sentence as me. You can write whichever sentence you want. And the last one, the big hand's at the 12 and the little hand's on the 8, which means 8 o'clock. I think 8 o'clock will be roughly the time you might be going to bed. You might go to bed a little bit early, you might go to bed a little bit later. Maybe 8 o'clock's the time you have your bedtime story. Maybe 8 o'clock's the time you go to bed. So, or maybe 8 o'clock you're already asleep. So you can write a sentence in here about what you do at 8 o'clock, and then you can draw a picture. So that is your task for today. So you can pause the video now and finish those 3, or you can finish it when you have done watch the whole video. So on this page, we are going to start, not today, but this is what we're going to be doing in the next few lessons. It says here, over the next few lessons, we're going to be learning about religious rules and routines. So different religions have different rules and different routines, and we're going to learn about them. Can you think of any you already know about? You might not know any, that's okay. Maybe you might know lots of different rules and routines. You can share it with an adult in your house if you want. The last thing we're going to do today is we're going to fill in our learning review. So you have to go back to the first page, and this is what we're going to do at the end of every single lesson. And we're going to read the lesson question, which is why we have rules and routines. And then today you should have learnt what our school rules are and the difference between rules and routines. If you think that you have learnt that and you think, actually, I know the school rules and I know the difference between rules and routines, you can colour in this face. If you think that you do know the school rules, but you're not quite sure about the difference between rules and routine, you might colour in this face. If you found some of the work a little bit tricky, you might colour in this face. And if you didn't understand what we were learning about today and you found it really hard, you could colour in this face. Please don't colour in more than one. You only colour in one face, okay? So I think today I'm going to colour in this face. I think I know the school rules really well, but I think I might go back and learn the difference between rules and routines again, okay? And it doesn't matter if you colour in the unhappy face or the straight face. That doesn't matter, as long as you're being honest. That doesn't matter. Whatever you think you've learnt today, don't colour in the really happy face if you think you found it tricky, okay? Make sure you're honest with yourself. So that's the end of our RE lesson today. Make sure you take a picture of what you've done in your book and post it on Google Classrooms. And then once we've finished our RE booklet, and once you finish all your lessons, you're going to bring it back into school so I can see it, which will be nice. So well done for today, and I'll see everybody tomorrow for some live lessons. Bye.